Hey, SHUG. Welcome back to the Scare Tarot. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a tarot reading, but I wanted to share a few things with you guys. So last night, right? Last night it was storming. It's been storming crazy for probably like the past few nights, probably 3, 4 nights, maybe even 5. But for me, in like the past few nights, I've been hearing like, seriously, I've been hearing like a moaning, crying sound, right? So I'm like, what is that noise? I've been home alone. So I'm like, what is that noise, Legit, it was the wind. It was the wind, okay? So, with that being said, okay, last night, all I could hear was the wind crying and moaning. And I couldn't sleep. I haven't been able to really sleep the past few nights. And I feel like it was because Spirit, God, Source was trying to talk to me and like communicate with me as far as like, send downloads or, just communicate, right? Okay. So last night, in the middle of the night, like I woke up and took notes on everything that I was thinking about. I was encouraged to do this. I was like, So, first thing I want to share with you guys, so I'm gonna go through my computer because I have my notes on my computer. Okay. Okay. So, first thing I want to share with you guys is that I have a condition called multiple sclerosis. Okay. So one of the things that come with multiple sclerosis is like, it's a lot of different things. Okay. But one of the things is like confusion. Like unable to find your thoughts, right? Or losing memory, not, okay, we're gonna get to that. Like losing memory, right? But also like, for me personally, I feel like a constant pain or irritation, right? It's not pain like, oh, excruciating, but it's like a constant irritation. My body never feels completely balanced. It just doesn't. Okay, so sometimes it can be really difficult to like get up or to do things or to even care. To be honest, being honest, okay? So, me living with MS has taught me a lot of different things. Okay, so as I say things, as I address things, I'm going to check it off. Okay, all right, it has taught me a lot of things, and one of them is to stay as peaceful as possible, because stress is the number one trigger for MS. Okay, being overwhelmed, being like excited, not from joy, but from stress or strenuous situations, extreme heat, extreme cold, like shock can be a trigger for MS. Okay. So yeah, so I try to stay as peaceful as possible. Okay. I meditate, I pray, okay. I try to be kind to others, right? I try to be kind to myself, and with the expectations that I want that in return. Okay. So with that being said, okay. So one of the things that I've learned in me growing spiritually, okay, no, I'm not perfect, and no, I have not mastered all of what it takes to be like, spiritually aligned. You know what I'm saying? Like I am constantly growing. Okay. So one thing that I've learned from being spiritual or from tapping into my connection to spirit is that there are different things about me that I have to address. Okay, like they're just all okay. And who I am now today is not the same as who I was 5 years ago. Okay, and when I associate myself with people, exes or friends or whoever from then, okay, they still see the person from 5 years ago. And I'm like, I'm nothing like that person. Okay, like nothing. Okay. But as I've grown spiritually, one thing that I've learned is learned about me is that I have a tendency to quit on things when they're too difficult. If I'm not having success at something, if it's too difficult, it's not going my way, I just give up. Okay, I'll leave it alone. Nope, not for me. Next. Okay, like seriously, I just let it go, right? Well, one thing that Spirit, God, Source, Jesus, okay, has been working with me on is when is it okay to quit? Because it's not saying you shouldn't quit certain things, right? Okay, some things you should just let it go, right? But when is it okay to quit and when is it necessary to continue to push through? Okay, so I've learned that, because of my experiences, not because God, Jesus, Source came down, sat on the couch next to me and said, hey, this is when you're supposed to quit and when you're not supposed to. It's from my experiences. We learn from our experiences, okay? All right, so because I've really strived to be as peaceful as I can be, I really have no patience when it comes to taking on other people's bullshit. Just being honest. Okay, so I can share struggles with someone else. I can discuss struggles with someone else. I'll take you out, I'll just let you vent to me if that's what's needed, like friends or family or whatever case may be. But what I can't do is take on your struggles, okay? Especially, and this is what I've learned in my experiences, okay? Especially when it's ruining me, okay? From the inside out, okay? And it's important that I say from the inside out because internally we are a soul. We are a spiritual being, okay? And then we have our physical body, and then we have our personality and all that stuff, right? To makes us who we are, right? Okay, cool. So my spiritual being is what someone taps into first when they project their bullshit onto me, right? And then the more that I take it on, it starts to impact my body. It starts to impact my personality, Now I'm snappy with people and stuff like that. And that's not necessarily who I want to be, okay? So what I've learned from my experiences is that it's okay to share your pain or share each other's pain with one another, okay? But it's not necessarily okay for you to take it on, especially when it's ruining you. So when is it okay to quit? When is it okay to let go of a situation? When is it okay to release a situation? I would say when it's ruining you, okay? Okay, so I've been growing, I would say, yeah. And it really only matters about what I feel and what I think. Because I know who I am now today and who I was 5 years ago. Right? Okay, cool. So my interest has changed. And is changing, since I have, developed more spiritually and have spent time seeking out God and God's influence, in my life and the direction that I'm meant to go, Okay, so because of that, there are some former interests, people, acquaintances that I just don't, gel with currently, okay? Right? So, but my mom used to say that. My mom's a Christian woman, she's spiritual. And she used to say that as you grow closer to Christ, old things, old people, old situations, they fall away. Not that it just fall away, but you lose interest in them, okay? You don't even, it's like, oh, now I used to be, a person that eat meat, and now I eat, I'm a vegetarian. So now, when someone puts some pork chops on the table, they might smell good. I don't even, right? Well, I'm not a vegan, but that's just giving you an example, right? Okay. So because of my focus on developing myself spiritually and trying to grow as an individual, I don't want to associate myself with any negativity, right? So I'm only human, okay? I'm only human, okay? So I try to stay away from gossip. I try to stay away from, like talking about people and stuff like that. Girls, women, we chat, okay? But I try to stay away from that because it's negative, right? Okay. And I am a firm believer of what goes around comes back around, especially because of me doing tarot, okay? Excuse me. Especially from me doing tarot, from doing tarot, I'm able to see the viewpoints from people, from everyone's viewpoint. I'm able to see, you know, um, everyone's experiences in situations, and so I try to stay away from, gossip or negativity, because you never know what someone else is really experiencing. Okay, I'll get back to that. Okay. That is one of the things that made me interested in Reiki. Okay, Reiki is energy healing. Okay, I am now a Reiki master. Okay, and because I wanted to not only help myself, but to help others heal the energy that may be pulling them away from spirit, away from their higher self, away from being their best, right? Okay. So, in the last few days, I've kind of been in a bubble. Okay, I took a step back. I've been in like hermit mode, right? Just because I just kind of wanted to. Okay, but I feel like I was being encouraged to do so because I felt like God wanted to have a chat with me. Okay, not like, again, He didn't come down and sit down on my couch and have a conversation. However, I feel like God had a moment with me by sending me downloads and information in my sleep, in my quiet time, when I was at peace. And I feel like in my quiet time, I was able to get stuff done that I needed to get done, um, you know, nurture my plants. I know they've, been missing my time and attention, but also just take time to, reflect and think, okay, to just be with me, right? Okay. Even though, okay, so this particular point is more related to what I said initially. I don't know if you guys, and I'm sure that you guys probably are aware of Lil Wayne, right? When it was publicized, or when it was put out that he has a hard time remembering some of the lyrics of his songs. And I thought about that when I heard about it, because I don't watch TV. I don't watch like the news and that type of TV. So when I heard about it, I was like, isn't it ironic, right? So here's a man who, established his career, his life, his livelihood on music and writing songs and so on and so forth, right? And now in this stage of his life, he's not able to remember some of the songs that he wrote, some of his legacy, some of his work, his life's work, what he's known to do. I haven't seen Lil Wayne acting in no movies or nothing like that, He's a rapper, right? A great rapper, but a rapper, okay? And because of life, health, experiences, he is unable to remember his life work. Not all of it, but a good amount of it, right? Okay. Isn't it ironic? So it just kind of, I felt that. I felt what he may be feeling. And this is why. So, like, I have always been known to be smart, right? Intelligent, knowing stuff, okay? People come to me and ask me questions about stuff that is not a part of my field, okay? You know, but they just feel like I know, right? I've been getting that all my life, okay? And now, in this stage of my life, I carry a condition that makes me feel, I haven't lost anything, okay? But it makes me feel like I'm stupid. Like, I'm being honest. It makes me feel like I can't remember anything. Like I don't know certain shit. I'm serious. So it's like, isn't it ironic for you to be known, for me to be known for being like intelligent and smart and just knowing everything. But now in my current stage of life, I feel like I don't know nothing. I was at a professional development yesterday with my supervisors and stuff like that. And they just, you know, randomly asked me a question. Now, I know the question. I mean, I know the answer to the question, okay? But they randomly asked me a question. And I was like, right? And legit, I couldn't answer in that moment. It caught me off guard because with MS, you know, it's like it's sometimes hard to find your thoughts. You know, I stumble over words. I forget what I was doing just now. Like that type of stuff. Like, you know. So, yeah. It's hard for people to like really understand what I'm experiencing with MS because not only am I like, you know, where I feel like I'm losing myself, me, because I'm supposed to be like so smart, you know what I'm saying? But also like I feel like I'm losing bits and pieces of myself as far as like my strength. You know, I sometimes drop things. I lose my balance, you know, that type of stuff, you know. Like I said, I constantly feel like a aching, you know, or a muted pain always. Always. Like to the point where at this point, I'm almost like, I am used to it and I don't like pay attention to it, but it's there. Okay, it just is, you know. So it's hard for me to like take on other people's BS. I can share BS, you know what I'm saying? Like share, you know, the things that I'm going through and they share the things they're going through. Or I can even allow people to share with me what they're going through. But what I can't do, okay, is take it on, especially when it's ruining me from the inside out. That's important, okay? Because we all go through our own struggles, okay? We all go through our own struggles. And there's really no way for anyone to like compare their life to someone else's. Lil Wayne has buckets of money, ridiculous amounts of money, right? But whatever he's dealing with his situation, where he is not able to remember certain lyrics of his songs, how that makes him feel, and what he's dealing with, someone else may not, you know? You can't tell Lil Wayne, oh, you don't have nothing to, you know, worry about. You got money. What that mean? Like, you can't tell me, oh, my life's straight because I got money, but I'm losing my mind. Like, no, that's not. How can you compare your life to mine? Yeah, and with spirituality and, you know, like tapping into your spirituality and understanding that we all go through our own issues and we have to believe and trust in God and have faith that the obstacles that we are encountering and things that we are experiencing are for a reason, because that is what's necessary. You cannot compare your life to someone else's. You just can't. I'll give you an example. You can have someone who lives in the inner city of New York City, right? Flatbush, right? And they meet someone who lives in a rural farm in the middle of Kentucky, let's just say. And they say to that person, you know, you don't live a hard life. You ain't never, you know, walk down the street and heard gunshots as you was walking down the street, or, you know, got robbed at the corner while you was trying to just get home from work or something like that. Yeah, okay. You might have experienced that. New York City, you know, resident, absolutely. But you can't compare your life as being harder than someone who might be living in a rural town in Kentucky, when they might wake up one morning and there's no water running, or um, it's a huge storm and they have to walk several miles to the nearest store to get food, or um, maybe they have to, you know, plant and pick their own food. Could you live their life? Could they live yours? You can't compare your life to someone else's. You really can't. You really can't. You really can't, because you don't know what someone else is experiencing. One thing that like when the wind was like howling last night. Okay, you know, it's like the wind was it howling like the banshees or something like that? It was howling last night. Okay. And the nights before that too. Where it legit sounded like someone was outside crying and weeping. Okay. And last night, all I could think about is that in this moment right now, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, in this moment right now, there is probably someone that is feeling just that way, that is crying or weeping right now, you know, from whatever they're experiencing, you know. We have to recognize just how blessed we are, okay? We have to recognize and be grateful for the blessings that we do have. Because last night, I was up, but I was in my home, secure, safe, warm, straight. And someone else may not be having that same experience. Someone could be living in a mansion, warm, safe, food in the fridge, could be a chef in the kitchen, and getting their ass whooped. You see what I'm saying? What life you want? You cannot compare your life to someone else's. Everyone is going through their own struggles, and so we are all trying to be our best. It's important that we all try to be our best for that reason, you know. So I maintain my peace. I try to maintain my peace, and I try to keep a simplistic life. Okay. I still like to do stuff. Still like to travel. Still like to hang with my friends. Still like to go to the clubs. All that, right? But I try to create experiences without unnecessary hurdles, misery, or disruption. Okay. So therefore, I can't take on unnecessary misery, disruption, or hurdles from someone else. Okay. I'll tell you guys what made me explore tarot in another video. I'll put that on here. Okay. So I have another channel called The Healing Circle. I'm going to post this video to The Healing Circle as well as to my Neesie Girl tarot channel or whatever. But The Healing Circle, it started around the pandemic time, okay? But I'm going to like push it, you know, more this year. You guys, you ever seen like well, I know you have, like the stick figures or the people like holding hands around the world? Okay. You know, that symbol is the symbol of unity. Yeah, okay. That is kind of how I look at my healing circle group or venture. Okay. Because we are all going through our own experiences, our own hurdles, our own obstacles, right? It's important, okay, for us to support one another, okay? So with love and compassion, have I drawn thee? Okay, that's in the Bible. But like also like, that's what you should do. You should love on one another. You should show compassion. You should have empathy, and you should try. We are only human. Okay, you should try your best to be there for others. So that's what my healing circle movement will be about. Developing ways for us to help and support one another. Okay. So, yes, I am a tarot reader, and who knows? People have, you hear about tarot, you hear about, tarot readings and stuff. You think psychics and, witchcraft and stuff like that. Yeah. But, my ex used to tell me, he used to be like, you listen to tarot all day. Okay. I do. Okay. A preacher probably listens to ministries all day. He probably listens to different ministries, different preachers, and stuff that's going to help uplift him pretty much all day, right? Even if it's music, gospel music, whatever it can be. The tarot that I listen to, okay, is inspiring. The tarot that I listen to uplifts me. The tarot messages, the tarot readers that I listen to are constantly encouraging, their readers, their listeners to make the best decisions, or to either check or correct themselves, or giving them inspiration and hope. I don't see a negative in that. So I have no remorse or no problem with listening to tarot all day, because I would rather listen to positivity, okay, from the nicest readers. Okay, there's one reader, tarot reader, Soulful Revolution, Mary Jane. I listen to her in the morning, okay, before I go out with my day, because she puts her daily out at 7 a.m. I listen to her in the morning before I start my day, because it's about growth and development and expansion and movement. That's what her channel is about. Together, okay? And that's the type of energy I want to associate myself with, So the readers that I listen to are positive. Of course, there are readers out there that are negative. Of course, there are readers out there that will tell you to go and put sugar in his gas tank, okay? Or, just send a letter to his baby mother because, he doing trickery anyway. Of course, there are readers that will tell you to do stuff like that. That is not you functioning in your higher self, okay? So even with my tarot readings, I try to put messages out there that are fun, but also messages that are helping you develop and grow. I listen to some Ratchet Tarot, Tyler's Tarot. I love him. I think he's, hilarious. But for the most part, he even, will tell you in the most aggressive way, get your shit together. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But, it just is what it is. He might, go on a rampage sometimes and but that's a part of his personality. And when it gets too much, I just, fast forward. Okay, but the messages in general, for the most part, are about you having hope, are about you knowing what's coming towards you, the direction that, God, spirit, source is trying to direct you to, and what you need to change about yourself. Okay. Yeah, so I have grown as a person. I know for sure. I know I have. I don't need anybody to tell me, yes, you have, or nothing. I know I have. Okay. This is me 5 years ago. Totally different. Okay, from me now. I know for sure. And so, recently I encountered one of my friends from back in the day. And she said, she was like, you know, we was having a discussion. She was like, see, you haven't changed, da da da. And I was like, that's kind of like, you know, like took a step back, like, oh, she still sees me from 5 years ago. Yeah, I just took that as a no mental note. Okay, she's not the only one. Okay, like my child's father, he still looks at me like, and I'm like, I'm not. That's not who I am. Okay, like, see, I have to, you know, but it's understandable, you know, but you have to recognize the growth within yourself. You can't expect other people to see it necessarily or to acknowledge it. Okay, you have to recognize the growth within yourself. If you have always battled with an addiction or something like that, and you've made progress, okay, maybe you haven't released it completely, okay, but you've made progress where, you know, you haven't touched it in months, right? Everyone else might not see that progress in you. You have to see that progress in yourself, okay? And so regardless of how you may change, everyone else might not see your growth, okay? You see it in yourself. And that's what matters, okay? Yeah, so this could have all been in my mind, but last night while I was, you know, thinking and getting these like messages or these downloads from spirit, I was like, whenever I like, you know, jumped up to put some notes in my phone of what I was thinking about, it seemed like the moaning stopped or the wind stopped. It could have all been in my imagination, but okay, maybe the moaning or the wind that I was hearing over the past few days was spirit, God, source trying to urge me to listen, to tap in, to pay attention to the messages that I was being given. Okay, so take heed to all signs you may receive. Okay, so my overall message in this video is, when is it okay to release? Right? I told you that one of the things that I am learning as I grow and develop into a better version of myself is not to quit so easily. Yeah, but when is it okay to quit? And I've learned from my experiences that if I encounter people, situations, jobs, any experience that is tearing me apart, okay, ruining me from the inside out, making me feel less than, or making me physically have any type of physical illness, or making me depressed, or making me sad, or hurting me from the inside out, then that's when it's necessary for you to release. That's when it's okay to release. And I feel like 100% God will support that. God will say, you know what? Absolutely. Because this thing isn't making you better. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a person, or whether it's a job, whether it's a business. Okay, if you're holding on to a business, it's one of the reasons why I closed my business. Okay, is because it was taking more away from me than it was giving. Okay, but so like whether it's a person, whether it's a business, whether it's people, you know, I said that, a home, assets, or even like an addiction. Okay, right? Something that you're holding on to. If it's ruining you from the inside out, it's something you should release. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to live my life for me. Okay. Because I'm the one that has to live it. I say that all the time. Like, you know, until you like, you know, the movie Ghost, okay, where they stepped, like the ghost like jumped into Whoopi's body or whatever. She was like, who did that? Don't do that no more. Okay. So unless you are able to insert yourself into my body and feel what I feel and go through what I go through and experience what I experience and live my life for me, then I can't really allow you to have any influence on how I live my life. Okay? If I feel like I'm doing what's best for me and I feel like I'm making changes because, you know, something is ruining me from the inside out, and I'm not putting myself in a situation that is ruining me from the inside out, you know, I gotta live for me, okay? Regardless of what's going on, okay? Yeah. No one understands me right now, and I know that. I know that. My friends, they don't understand me right now, okay? Especially my friends from like back in the day, you know. I'll like, you know, show them my tarot readings and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll listen. No, they won't. Okay. Like they may listen to it, but not really. Okay. And I don't blame them, and I don't, you know, I understand. Okay. This is the path that I have chosen. Okay. And so I know that in time it may be necessary for me to get around like-minded individuals or people who are aligned to what it is I'm doing, okay, or in the same mindset, you know. Don't have to necessarily be doing tarot, but at least in the same mindset of growing and being better and trying to, like, you know, put a positive stamp on life, you know. If that makes sense. No love lost, okay. Nothing will change as far as like my connection to these people. I will still always love them, but I know that the path that I'm walking, I can't necessarily expect or try to pull them with me, you know. This is what it is. So that's my message to you, okay. When is it okay to quit? It's okay to quit a situation if it's ruining you from the inside out, if it's destroying who you are, if it's ruining your peace, if it's making you unhappy, okay? I ain't talking about, oh, you know, I'm sad because I didn't get 10 views. I got 5, so I'm going to quit. No, that's not ruining you. That's, okay, perseverance, you know, continue to go, okay? Something that is ruining you is taken away from who you are. And that's why I said it's important for me to say inside out, because if it's ruining your spirit, and then it starts to ruin your physical, and then it starts to change your personality, it needs to go. Okay? Okay. So that's what I have for you, SHUG. I hope this helped. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. If you're interested, you can definitely join my Healing Circle channel. I'm going to upload more videos in time. I have some ideas that have checked in with me. Well, I'm going to say check in. I have some ideas that I received in my downloads that I'm going to play around with and see how I want to move this Healing Circle journey. But I appreciate you guys listening to me. You guys are ready. Bye.